disturbingly sort of lagging in my my thing over here. Okay. Anyhow, let's go ahead and play. I was putting this back onto full screen to make sure I could capture it. Like I said, the OBS has been just really weird for me. I know a lot of people swear by it, but I have a lot of problems with it. Okay, so 14 minutes. This looks like the newest one. Okay, we named it that. Welcome to everyone, by the way. I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, whatever time of the day and night cycle that it is there with you. And let's see what we can do today. We come back in. It's kind of hard because I trade back and forth between Baldur's Gate 2 and Pillars of Eternity. So it's twofold. The issue for me is, and that is that I trade from an old game to a modern game. I trade from an evil party to a party that is, I don't know, not evil, that's for sure. I'm not going for good necessarily. Maybe a wee bit more stoic than anything else. Oh, it's a woodsman. Hold, madam, but a moment. A hooded man waits upon the road, on the road, clad in a green cloak. He strides forward to meet you as you approach, and at a closer distance, and closer up, his features are revealed as those of a younger man, though lined with weariness. He appears to be favoring his left leg as he walks, and there is a dark stain on the, up on. This is something they don't understand. The word upon means up on. There's a dark stain on the fabric of his trousers under the knee. Even so, he greets you with a polite bow. People who haven't mastered their own language. I imagine Tawatanu was very grateful for the return of his supplies. He's a good smith, a good man at that, beholden to a cruel master, but a good man. Did we sell all our stuff yet, by the way? Gilded Vale is full of such people who deserve better than to watch their home descend into fear and madness. He turns to look out over the village. I aim to serve them, and I would ask your help in doing so. Who are you? Seems like a pertinent question, doesn't it? He just comes up and starts prattling at me. Only a man determined to see Gilded Vale restored to its former glory. There was a time, stranger, when Gilded Vale was worthy of its name. The wheat shone like gold on the hills, and the village's people lived well. I can still hear Adair. Well, I don't know about the golden crops, but there were less flies anyway. I just absolutely adore him. I cannot help it. And what has become of it now? Whatever has caused the blight upon our lands, it is not the fault of its people. Raderick looks to punish us for crimes we have not committed, and in turn he is blind to his own. I am not, and he will pay for what he has done. I, Kolsk, swear it by the flame. Like many tyrants, he has surrounded himself with stronger men and women for fear of retribution. The man smiles thinly. And so you are warned. If you press on despite that, however, I wonder if we might not help one another. What is it you want me to do? The man nods, standing a little straighter. It is a grim task that I ask of you, but I assure you there is no other option. Lord Raderick must be stopped. Too long has Gilded Vale suffered under Raderick's madness. He would cure Waidwen's legacy by ensuring there are none alive in the village to be afflicted. I fear his own wife, Ygritte, may be at risk. The man has no mercy in him. We have not stood idle. My people and I breached the defenses, intent on ending Raderick's rule ourselves. We entered through the sewers under cover of night, but we were routed. His face darkens. There are dark creatures down there in the dungeons, the work of Raderick's Animancer. It falls to you. Lord Raderick has called for further reinforcements, and soon there will be no stopping him. Our time grows short, and in this hour I must beg assistance where I can. He's going to owe us more than some rebel-strewn plot of land after this. Fling him into the from the ramparts, or else cut his head from his shoulders, I care not. Once his throne lies empty, Gilded Vale will have the stewardship it deserves. Okay, I'll find Roderick and deal with him. Then I commend you on your courage and thank you for your assistance, but I would not send you onward without due warning. Roderick's hold is crawling with soldiers and sellswords, all loyal to Roderick. They will not take kindly to intruders. In truth, they will be all the more alert for our failed efforts. A frontal assault would be unwise. If you would brave it, you could follow our steps and seek out the entrance to the sewers at the eastern edge of the moat. But several of my men were captured. It may be the entrance has been found and sealed anew. Those men were under my command. I would be in your debt if you could find some means of helping them. Once you make it inside, seek out my old friend Nedmar. He is the high priest, Baratheon. Now that the shining god is fallen, a good man, in difficult circumstances, he will listen to reason. Okay. Shining god. He never shone so brightly as when the bomb took him. The moniker is obsolete now. Ash does not shine. It's like if someone was to call you the attractive priest, Durrance. Nedmar can help you reach Roderick, but he resides in the upper levels of Roderick's hold, protected by guards and mercenaries. Missionaries. What is it they say when they... Oh, it's escaping me at the moment. It would have been really funny. Oh. You will have to keep to the shadows if you mean to reach him without alarming the entire keep. So, thank you for the advice. I will make good use of it. Might as well be a little diplomatic now and again. I consider it a blessing from the gods that I have found someone who understands honor and duty. That might be pushing it a little bit too far. Roderick's hold lies past the Esternwood, not far to the east. May Magron bring you victory, friend. I wish you luck. Okay. So, to those of you who held through this morning's stream, I'm very grateful. I thought I put my rabbit ears on. I had them on earlier and I took them off. So, I don't even know where I laid them. Oh, I had the blue ones on earlier. Anyhow, though, thank you for holding through my stream. Appreciate it. It was because the game crashed, and that was where OBS couldn't reacquire the game. And so, we had nothing but problems after that. So we did finally get it settled around in Twitch, but that was kind of a drag. Okay, now what all do we have in our journal? By the by, the Old Watcher at Cadnoa, Lord of a Barren Land, A Mother's Plea, Trials of Durrance, which will show up when it shows up, the Fragments of a Scattered Faith. That's Ed Ayres. Trying to decide what we're going to do next. Oh, I wanted to see, that was something I wanted to see if we sold our stuff yet or not. It appears we did. Excellent. How much moolah do we have? Good so. So, I did have some conflict today, which was quite interesting. Someone who's probably a young lady, because it's mostly the younger Germans who think that Germany is reunited. I mean, technically it's reunited, but the reality of it is that the East Germans get called neo-Nazis because they don't share the opinions of the West Germans. And to be frank about it, a lot of the West Germans are becoming very angry about the profusion of foreigners who are being brought into this land, or led into this land, because a lot of them don't take jobs. Why should you? I mean, if you're going to pay me to stay home and enjoy my life, I would do it. And they get quite a lot of money from the government too. I was just told it's like $1,600 a month. Shit, I could live off of that. So that begs the question of whether Germany is really, as you hear the East Germans talk about the Besserwessis, and the West Germans talking about the Ossis, and like I said, here in the East we get called neo-Nazis and stuff by them. And so I don't think we can consider Germany as united. And the gal accused me of being the one who divides the Germans, and I was like, no, they're dividing themselves, and she just didn't want to accept that. And bury your head in the sand, pretend there's no problem. Maybe it'll just magically go away. Two villagers stand by one of the tide pools. They are breathing harshly, clearly winded, and looking up nervously as you approach. Just want to check something real quick. It's really weird for there to be absolutely no one in the stream. There's usually at least one person. I know I don't have my reading thing on today, but there's really literally no one in here, which is really weird. Okay. Well, it's sort of strange. Let's keep going then. Two villagers stand by a tidal pool. They are breathing harshly, clearly winded, and look up nervously as you approach. If you're here to fish, as we are, stranger, you'll want to avoid the compass proper. The dwarven woman points to the southeast. Her companion shakes his head. A lot of ships wind up, spread across the rocks here, so we didn't think much of the wreckage until we heard something. A terrible noise. I thought there was a survivor, but he wasn't alive, moving, but not truly alive. It was awful. What do you mean, what did you see? Corpses, walking corpses. We don't want any part of it, whatever the cause. Might be we can find something in the tide pools, and then we're heading straight home. Lots of ships wreck here all the time. It's a lovely place, but dangerous as any to sail. Good fishing most days. She wipes her brow. I think we'll look further up the coast next time. Well, I know what they're doing. They're fishing. Okay. That was kind of a stupid question, wasn't it? What are you doing out here? She just told you they were fishing. Oh no. The dwarf woman is not very adept at fighting, apparently. Oh, y'all take your time, you know, and like human lives are on the line here. Man, that chick really comes out, don't she? So, Hetty, y'all, welcome. I don't have my thing reading out today because I can see the chat. Okay. Oh, I thought he done blew this popsicle stand. Gods, what a mess. Thank you for your help, strangers. Okay, we have someone we need to visit on behalf of the Galeska sister. By the way, again, anyone who was with me this morning in my stream, thank you for hanging in there with me. When our game crashed the first time, that was the start of our technical problems. Oh, I was like, why'd they pause the game? Oh no, my computer crashed. Oh, no it didn't. I'm trying out a new camera, by the way, so feedback is welcome. I get the impression that it's not, you know, zooming in and out and going quite as haywire as the old one. And that my face might be brighter. So, crabs and small fish cluster in this pool left behind by the tide. She's probably going to ask us to do something. In fact, I know she is, because I've done this before. Okay, after several days' journey, it seems it is time at last to part ways with my traveling companion from New Homer. Um, Pity we could not see the compass together, but perhaps he will have as grand a time in Gyron's grasp. I have given him my gloves for safekeeping, for I will hardly need them in such fine weather. Well, we have definitely seen him on the road because we have Fulvano's gloves. Oh ha! Halt, stopp! So das? We didn't have the right container chosen? Bugger me. And we forgot to sell her grimoire, and the rest of them went up here. We'll have to look at that next time we loot something, what container we have chosen, or person, beziehungsweise. OT. Ah, kind of you to stop and speak, my western friend. And Aumaua stands before you, his hair matted and once bright clothes in ruins. Equally ruined is his face, a hatching of thin scars crossed by broader wounds. Haven't seen another kit since my ship went down. I do not suppose you are looking to lighten your purse? You were shipwrecked? Aye, we were transporting goods from the Deadfire to Defiance Bay when a storm took us off course and ran us aground here. Only I survived. He frowns for a moment, then shakes his head, clearing the expression. You should consider sailing the islands of the Deadfire, friend. No more beautiful a realm exists in the whole world. Okay, well, who are you? I am called Ponamu Birdscorned, chronicler of the Huana people. Strange. I know, strange, I know, but we do not choose our names, do we? Okay, what do you sell? The ship's cargo, goods from the Deadfire, a few personal trinkets, all of the highest quality. I wouldn't sell them, but without coin, how am I going to return to my homeland? Okay, show me your wares. Is that what we're calling them now? Okay. That was the thing I said I wanted to sell. We're always short of cash when we land here. Every time we come to him, we're short of cash. I don't know. See what else he has down here. Boatsman, helmsman. Okay. Belt of Rural Deadfire Cannoneer. Wow, that sounds exciting. Grants Firebrand 3 times per rest. Wow. Oh. Isn't that the thing that you get when you first come into the Pillars of Eternity too? Done already lost one person. Just not exciting enough for people. So. Fish and clumps of seaweed, bright green with heat, roll in this stew. It tastes plenty salty. Ah, Ranga, you find yourself facing a towering Aumaua woman. Her skin is the warm gold brown of a dying sunset with pale fish-white patches at throat and hands. Wavy red-brown hair pulled into tight braids around a stripe of bare skin that follows the curve of her skull, flows down over her broad shoulders. She regards you calmly, evidently unsurprised to find you here at the edge of her camp by the water. Have you come for medicines and craft works, or to share the fire? She gestures to the large cauldron nearby. Okay, Alpha sent me here. She says that you know some way to ensure that her child is not hollow-born. Ah, more of Lord Redrick's frightened flock. She nods slowly. I know what she's speaking of. I imagine she's somewhat desperate sending you out here for her. She gave you payment, I expect. Whatever it is, you keep it. I don't need coin. I need you to do something for me instead. Ranga points inland. There's a Zaurip tribe to the northeast, led by one of their priests. Tana was exiled from there some time ago, and their scouts still lurk about this place, waiting for an opportunity to end his life. The Zaurip lets out a rattling squawk, head drooping. One day I will have to go for supplies, and I will come back and find my assistant slain. How will I help anyone then? She shakes her head. You rid me of this nuisance, and I will do what I can for Alfra, and throw in something for you too. Okay? I'll come back when it's done. I didn't get my teeth today because the things that are in my jaw moved minimally, and then the bridge that they created for me wouldn't fit in, so they have to redo it. But she said at no cost to me. So they make a pretty penny off it anyhow, really, but that's not really an excuse. But I think it was very kind of her to not charge me. And maybe I'm just too stupid to understand the character of Durance, but I don't have any problem with him. I really was reading in the forums about people who find him to be excessively annoying. I find him to be amusing, but then I'm a wee bit of a freak. So there you go. So we did check that this time. Page from Fulvano's Travels. I met a helpful Darwood woman while in Gilded Vale. She was an invaluable guide during my time in that sorry village, and agreed to accompany me some part of the way toward Anslug's compass. We parted ways in the wilds known as Margan's Fork, but I gave her my amulet. She's dead too. To remember me fondly. Perhaps I will return to these lands someday after all. There's the amulet. There's the gloves. All these people about whom we read are already deceased. Dead, moved on to meet their makers. Seriously? 4 of us sneaking up on a helpless little yip. That's pathetic. Or prophetic. I don't know which. I'm just saying. Another one? What a fine crossbow you have there. Okay. How is it that so grand a journey as mine should lead me here? The people of Darwood called this pitiable lagoon a sight to see, but all I have experienced here is misfortune. I thought to explore the cavern by the waters, only to discover that it was home to sporlings. I went to see the vaulted compass and lost the bulk of my letters when I tripped over some driftwood. Well, now that ain't anybody's fault. And at last I made to inspect the dragon skulls nearby, only to be menaced by some foolish little Zaurips. I will return to Gilded Vale as soon as I catch my breath. At least the Zaurips do not appear to have follow. Well, I think he might have been mistaken in that point. Let's see how many yip-yips we find back here. That's the one we want. That's the one we want. One hit. Seriously? Just one hit. That was it. We did turn up the difficulty on this, didn't we? I know we did on Baldur's Gate. That's usually a lot more challenging. Nice little village. Their magic user our spiritual leader, I guess he is, has a nice little setup there, doesn't he? So clamshells and crab carapaces litter the coal. See, if we would be way down here, we would see it better. But I don't want to be zoomed in that far. You can't make me. Let me drink the rest of my caffeine to get something to. Help my dry and scratchy throat here. That's like something. Come, take a closer look. Let's go do the Sporling fight, because that's going to be a bitch, and then after that we might go ahead and set this up. Oh, we can go back to Ranga, can't we? More yip yips? I wasn't expecting them. The note said he went into the cave and he found spores or sporlings. And those things are quite naughty. Oh yeah, turning up the difficulty levels isn't going to affect this area. Only future areas. There's usually 2 of those guys. I think 4 or 5 of these little guys here. Our gal's confused. She's down there going, what? Oh, that's my chick. These guys keep going, what's it? Has anyone tried making him a priest of Aethys in the second one? I considered it today, but oh, there is another one over there, isn't there? I considered it, but decided, seriously, like you didn't know. Oh, I thought there was indeed another one over there. Since we're chasing Aethys, I thought that might be the best idea to Make him a priest of Aethys. Seems like a wee bit of a conflict of interests. Can I knock him over? He seems pretty well rooted. She's still puzzled. Yeah, that was way easier than normal. When I say the normal, I mean what I usually have. I'm usually on a more difficult level. But it might not be such a bad thing because then, we don't have to reload it whenever we have a really particularly horrifying battle. Moss and mold cover the bones like a blanket. They smell earthy and wet and disgusting. Oh. It's like I just grabbed someone at random, Hey, you, go over there and search. See what's in that chest. I really thought it was Alof. I might need glasses or brain transplant. I'm not sure which one would help more. So, is it done? Am I rid of the interminable squawking of the Zaurups? Squeak! No, Tana, I don't mind yours. Yep, they're all dead. Good. I tired of their futile attempts to surprise us here. That must be a scene for your trouble, and now we can get underway with my part of the bargain. Lord have mercy. I will get started on the mixture, but I need one more ingredient. I knew this was coming. Some spores from the creatures in that cave there. Oh, I didn't know that was coming. She's going to need something else. I couldn't remember what it was. Okay, sporelings they call them. It is useful material. I need one for the mixture. You are welcome to any others you find. Oh, I have some right here. Thank you very much. So you do. Excellent. Give one here and I'll add it to the cauldron. Woohoo! This should not take long. Interesting. My thing shows there's nobody in here. Okay. The mixture is ready. Take this to Alpha. Tell her to drink it before bed as it induces sleep. She should find herself more energetic in the mornings. Tell her to eat more fish and cheese. The potion will sustain a healthy appetite. Grant her strength. She is a rather frail woman from what I remember of her. Wait, I thought this was a cure. I can tend to ailments of the body. I cannot cure an affliction of the soul. Certainly not one inflicted by the gods. Ranga crosses her arms. I have explained many times people will believe what they want. That's true. So let her believe. Perhaps that will help. Faith is a powerful thing. In the meantime, she will feel much improved. And if her child should not be claimed by the legacy, then it will be born healthy. That I promise. Okay, fine. I don't need to be insulting people. It's not necessary. I do enough of that in real life. Okay, I've done what I can. As promised, tell Alpha I wish her well. Hello. There we have not yet been. Should we go fight some undead? Although Adair is not in the best of shape, but swallowed wrong. Let's be honest, most of the fights aren't that challenging. She said, and then 3 of them crawled forward. I'm not sure what was unclear about that command. Battles are sort of simplistic, but I mean, they can get really challenging. And it's most fun when you have a lot of spellcasters in your party, by the way, in case you haven't played this. That's what actually makes these fun. At the center of the ring of jagged stone, this boulder casts a long shadow across the sand as the sun moves overhead, hence the term compass. Okay. Okay. Pretty. Oh, that's a nice morning star. That thing is pretty. I like blunt weapons, which just sounds wrong, but oh, it's endurance. Come on, kill it and get it over with. Hi, Jacob. Hi, how are you? Jacob Anderson. Nice name. I'm fine, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Sort of focused on the combat. The way you get sometimes in these games. Another one? Is this another Fulvano note? Hope you've been doing well. So, page from Fulvano's Travels. While traveling west toward Gilded Vale, I encountered a fellow traveler of some considerable intelligence, and we engaged in pleasant conversation. It came to light that the poor fellow had the most excruciable pair of boots upon him. I gave him one of my spare sets that he might better appreciate Valian craftsmanship. May they serve him well, for he said he intended to cross the wilderness known as the Black Meadow. I cannot imagine it is a pleasant place. So, do we have those boots yet? I think we haven't found the boots yet. And I am correct. I'm sure we will happen upon them in our travels, as we have all the rest of his items. So, we came here. Let's go back up to Gilded Vale. That'll finish that quest off. Up here. Okay. And then we can think about, maybe we want to go to Kadnua next. And do some of the Watcher stuff there. We can gain our stronghold. Nope, I'm not going to be able to change how far away it is. Such as it is. Have you played this game before? Jeremy? Where'd we come in at? And we need to be over here. Usually not much going on in between in this scene. Jacob? I said Jeremy. I'm sorry. It has been a long day. I was actually supposed to get my bridge today. I went to put it in and it didn't fit right. It kind of sucked. This Pillars of Eternity is 2017, and in the mornings here, Central Eastern European time, Central Eastern European time, I stream Baldur's Gate 2, an evil party. Lots of fun. This worn dog-eared book is titled Travels Upon the Keldglass Sea. There is an etched illustration of a vast finned leviathan. That is what it says. Okay, you were away some time. I worried you wouldn't return. Is that it? Have you bought it? Alpha looks at you hopefully. What did Runga say? Yes, I have it. Here it is. You really did. Oh, bless you. Bless you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Now my baby will be safe. Alpha beams at you. I can't thank you enough. I'm just going to nod stoically. I don't want your money. Here, take this. You can keep what remains of Ranga's payment too. Thank you again. I'll take this before I settle into bed. Perhaps I'll finally rest easily. Isn't she supposed to take it in the morning? Whatever. Not my business. I did what I was supposed to do. Am I interested in artwork? I own a lot of artwork, for sure. So it doesn't really matter where we go out. We could go out up here. Let's go stay at the inn first. Bah. That'd actually be a wise choice, wouldn't it? If it's about graphic designing, I think I've got probably 40 of them, I would say at a guess, following me on Instagram. Tons and tons and tons of young people who are apparently all graphic designers nowadays. I'd like a room, please. My concern for them would be there are so many people who feel they are graphic designers, putting it that way for a reason, that there probably is not enough business to go around. It's kind of like here in Germany, anyone who can scribble their name thinks they're a technical writer. But I have the greatest respect for people who indulge in in graphic design. It just seems to me like there are a ton of them nowadays, really. And the bulk of them are young ladies. They post pictures of themselves in scanty clothing, and most of their drawings look the same. So it's really cool to find someone whose drawings actually look different. Black Meadow, maybe we'll find the boots. Ooh, we haven't cleared very much of this at all. Stimmt. Bummer, dude. It's just kind of like, you know, streamers. Everyone's a streamer, right? Technically, I'm a streamer. I don't get paid to do this, though. Because I'm just not offering what most people want. It's just kind of the way it is. And I get that. People want loud and hectic and sexy. All the things they want sexualized stuff. You know? But not from old women. The bones feel as hard as stone, yet surprisingly light. Now we're showcasing theories about dinosaurs. Flying dinosaurs. They're a spell. which will become particularly pertinent in the next one. The first time I ended this, I was playing a barbarian, and she chose bear off at the end of the game. In case you don't know how the end of the game ends, I'm not going to tell you. But she chose bear off and she kept her word. So. Oh yes, him. Just off to the side of the path into Caed Noir stands an imposing figure, a tall, thick-set Almawa, clad in worn armor and peering up at the outer walls of the keep. In his hand is a small piece of charcoal, and it works feverishly, taking notes upon a small scrap of paper. More than once he has to reach up to prevent his colorful cap from falling off his head as he gazes upwards. Must be clever then, that moldy brickwork must be fascinating. The man looks over at you, blinking in surprise. His face splits into a wide, very toothy grin. He waves the parchment in greeting. Two centuries always sounds like so much. And yet a century ago, my great-grandmother was born. And I knew her, by the way, as a child. That'd be a pity. What do you want from Maelwald? A year. I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I found evidence suggesting that the original lies here beneath the keep. I want to ask Maelwald if he knows of it. You know what? I'm noticing you guys are not hearing the game, and no one has said anything to me. Because the game this is what's being used, so now you can hear the game. That's a shame when no one says anything, and then I don't know. It still might not be working. That looks to me like that one might be capturing both. Okay, as long as you can hear it. Okay, and you, my friend, why are you here? Apparently I'm something called a Watcher. Let's just tell the truth, and Maelwald can tell me what that means.
Watcher? You've spoken with spirits? There are many questions I would ask if I could do the same.
So it was capturing the rain sound in the background, but it wasn't really capturing main audio, so we should be good now. Sorry. That sucks. Well, perhaps we can help one another. The grounds are infested with all manner of beasts. I have never seen the like. I did not want to risk it alone, but you seem capable. Together I am sure we could manage it, and then we could both ask our questions of Maelwald. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Excellent.
Meet them together. Extra
and I will be at your heels.
person in the party can't hurt, right?
Wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Nearly forgot. I have at times been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not
You
wish
forgot
for me
that?
to find what I am looking for.
How can you forget that?
I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I paid them little mind. Humorless swords and long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know.
Ah, what are a few assassins between friends?
I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come, then. Who knows what we will find inside?
Probably someone after me at some point. Happens a lot. Okay, so now we've got him in our party.
Once more through the gates. With more success this time, I hope.
Let us hope. Those we know. That one's very naughty. We know him too. He's apparently dazed, so we'll not be able to do anything with him right off the bat. Shouldn't he be singing? Oh, I guess he has to build up points, okay. Some of these classes I'm just not adept at. Suck.
Leave it to me.
Mow it.
Because I have no control over him, I think. Yeah, I have no control over him at the moment. Good, let's take care of that one. Excellent, okay. Like I said, the fights are not hard.
All right then.
It's kind of irritating for me when people pop into my stream just because they, want to get money from me somehow. I get people coming in here offering to get me people to watch my streams if I pay them. I'm like, well, if people just don't like, if they don't like what I'm offering, that doesn't do me any good. As seriously, it's not going to do me any good to pay people to sit in here and so I can get affiliated, and then nobody wants to subscribe to me because no one was interested in what I'm offering. That totally makes no sense. I wouldn't think I'd be able to knock one of these down, but I guess I'm willing to give it a go. They're a lot easier than I have in my memory. Really. So that is I think one thing I would ask people is not to come in and ask me if I want to buy their artwork, if I want to pay them to have people sit in my stream. I'm not affiliated, so I'm just doing this for fun. And that's okay. This trapdoor has been battered by the elements. Tugging on the rusted handle only produces a heavy rattling.
Of course.
Resistance is futile.
Leave our village! We've done nothing to you!
Think they're talking to me? Probably not.
Well, that's unusual.
See, what does he see?
I'll see what I can find.
What does he see? They say that usually when they see something, a secret compartment, a trap, or something. So it was the same way in Tyranny, if you recall.
Yes?
Not quite.
Leave it to me! Hooray! Hooray!
Come on, heal yourself. Wipe the blood off your face. Thank you. Once they got in the swing of things, they really got in the swing of things, didn't they? Oh, okay, as you come to the end of the Great Hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from the grand throne wrought out of marble, its masterful artistry out of place amidst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. As you approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carving, permeating the fortress through stone and air.
Another watcher in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance.
You know what I am?
One could hardly mistake it. You're burning like a candle. Of course, I also know what to look for. In any case, I assume you're here looking for Maywald.
Are you imprisoned in that throne?
Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins. One of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul.
Yeah, I think we're going to find that out at some point. with Aethys, we find that out in the second one, right? Okay.
Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place.
Okay. Tell me more about Maywald.
He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been. So he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we've made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me.
Okay, any idea where I can find him?
I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind.
Seems kind of weird, doesn't it?
Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Fair enough. Thank you kindly for the warning. No, of course not. That would be convenient. I don't want to venture below with him in the condition he's in. Adair needs to sleep. He needs his beauty sleep. sure I want to sleep right next to the ranting lunatic. Well, now that might have been a mistake. But one I'll live to regret, so that's okay. I can live with that. Let's hope we're not set upon by too many naughty ha-has in the night, right? Hey. In Baldur's Gate, if you're standing over the top of something, you can loot it. Not here. Okay. Whoa! Down below, there are like spiders and beetles and shit like that. They count as beasts? Well, let us assume they do. Okay.
You know, there are accounts of watchers in all of the regions I've visited. If the adventuring life doesn't work out for you, you could always read souls for coin. Give people advice. Tell them which family they're related to and whom they should duel for past offenses.
I could probably convince people of all kinds of things. Well, that's not quite the approach I was thinking of, but that's very true. That's that evil side. Still at work in the wrong game. Whoa. Ooh, that's so true. It's just like modern day, and everyone thinks they're related to royalty and all this sort of shit. Or at the very, I had my last boss. He thought he was a direct descendant of William the Conqueror. I was like, yeah, well, it's not the case that someone has to be. The line could have died out. But whatever floats your boat. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Been
Hey.
out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas.
So as you draw nearer, the apparition in front of you resolves into an elven woman. Her stringy hair is tied back, and she tugs at a loose thread on her apron. There's a distant hollow look in her eyes until she notices you. She turns from you long enough to produce a basket that, like her, is shimmering and semi-transparent. And no complaints, you've got to eat your vegetables if you want to grow up strong and be a real soldier one day, just like we agreed, right? She watches you out of the corner of her eyes. Say nothing?
Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father.
Remind me what happened to my father?
Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Adra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your
And
father
raped
was
some of the
one
women.
them.
Who was one of the people the Glanfathans killed? That's what I said. Her voice is low and hoarse, and her hand is frozen over the basket. Something dark and empty clouds over her eyes.
That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
Remember, nobody else is hearing this or seeing this but us. We must work like real loons, on the people around us. They're going, bless their hearts. Oh, bugger me. Well, now, we've just got set upon here, haven't we? Oh, need you get all head up, darling? Need you to throw the book at him. I need you to teach this fella a lesson.
Kind of suck over here.
I know. I ain't gonna kill you. Live to tell about it.
I'm not. Yes.
Nice one. Up. Pardon me for. You look, I've got a little bit of bags under my eyes. I'm struggling with allergies, is what I'm doing. Besides coughing. A bit of a scratchy throat. Let me also make myself some tea. Okay? We have tea for colds with the vitamin C and zinc, you know. Warm enough. My partner had a cold last week, and well, now I'd like to. I'm still warding it off, I reckon, but I still think it's allergies. But you can't never be too careful, can you? You kill one and it breeds another. Oh, our barbarian is poison. Oh, not for long. Wah! Like in real life, you try and stomp it on these spiders. You kill one and the next one turns up just like in real life.
New orders, Lieutenant. Ready your squad.
A spectral man arrayed in armor and an officer's cloak studies the single sheet of paper. A single sheet of paper. He can see straight through it to... Oh, you can see straight through it to the... Duchel? I think it's said. Duchel? That from a duke. And Adra... Edir... Insignia on his breastplate. I hate some of the fucking words in this game, I swear to God. He seemed to read over the page several times before looking up at you. When he does, his expression is unreadable.
There's been a change of plans. Take your squad and march south all the way to the bow in the river. Bring a wagon team and a dozen barrels of pitch. The instructions come from Admet Hatred himself, which means they might as well have come from the Duke. We're to burn those hut dwellers out. Set fire to the deerwood so they've nowhere to retreat. Cut them down when they come out. Or let them blaze if they won't.
Presumably he's talking about the settlers. The hut dwellers. I'll be back. I'm going to go to the
It'll
bathroom.
make this even shorter than the broken stone war, all right. And we can only hope it'll discourage future conflicts.
Okay, folks. Let's get back at it. Alrighty. So,
I know this is personal for you. It is for many of us. But understand, we're doing this to end this war, not to continue the last one. Remember that we're flushing out the enemy, not burning villages for sport. Bareth will have his work cut out for him tonight.
it's the god of rebirth, renewal. So, he takes the souls and they go on the wheel. That was why I chose him. At the end of the game, he spoke to me. Not literally, I mean, he just appealed to me. And again, it's not like he appealed to me, he appealed to me. Hopefully you understand what it is that I'm saying here.
I'll have it in no time.
We'll take those farmers
The
by
work of a moment.
surprise. Almost time. Di and Heather scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now. Don't worry. Everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Rio had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one wants it said that the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the foreigners desecrated our ruins.
You may not like them, but they're still our elders for now. That was clever, drawing the support of the community first. By the time you approached the real, they had no choice but to support us. There's no doubt you'll join their ranks one day, so long as no farmer's pitchfork fails you tonight. So now we're looking at the Glenfaddens.
The tribes need more leaders like you. Women who value deeds over words.
He reaches towards your cheek, but stops midway, his playing fingers quivering as a tremor of doubt runs through him.
Right. They were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us.
A large, liver-spotted man, barrel-chested and paunchy, cowers in a far corner of this room. His white hair is a tangled, stringy mess. He covers his face and chest with trembling hands, unable to look in your direction.
Maybe we should come back later?
Maybe there won't be later. He looks up over his hand, the muscles around his eyes twitching, and begins whispering to himself in sharp hisses, as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking. A sudden calmness falls over him. His head tilts forward slightly, and he looks you dead in the eye, like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice turns suddenly raspy.
Mayor Wald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit.
Let's try number one. I'm a watcher. I met a woman in Gilded Vale who thought she could help me.
Mayor Wald will speak with you.
Lay our cards on the table.
Distance, or you'll have me to answer to.
I wish they'd give me time to read the lead-in. The man turns his body away and has another muttered, sputtering argument facing the wall. When he turns back toward you, he has taken a confident stance, and his chest is puffed out like a soldier's, and his strength enters his voice, and these are the words he spoke to us.
To
speak to Mayorwald?
The man's posture
Mayorwald
folds.
whose touch is poison. Mayorwald, who knows not his effect.
Okay, I was told I'm a watcher and that you could tell me more about it. And about a tablet of some worth after that, once you two are finished, of course.
The window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Hear and reach into it, speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, and knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, an imprint, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I. The gods wanted of me, thought I. The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged. It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners. Little I knew.
I was accosted by spirits on my way here. What do they want?
No, no! Forgive me! Forgive me!
I seem to have touched a soft spot, a sore spot there. What y'all think? Okay, well, you seem to have lost your mind.
Found more of it. Too much to bear.
Meh. How could a simple awakening have driven you to this? You remember you mean you remember your past lives?
Something reminds.
I think I might have cut it off. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Memories before birth. Other bodies. Other times. Memory. Personality. Identity. Any might resurface. Or
Oh. And I seem to be having a conversation with several of them right now.
ghosts of the mind. Mayorwald has lost control. Mayorwald's body no more.
The poor bugger. The spirits I passed, what are they?
Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Mayorwald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Mayorwald awakened, he could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less.
By the way, the microphones that I'm using this evening are in that new camera, so if there's a comment on the audio quality, that would be helpful. Spirits are memories from previous lives.
Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Mayorwald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know?
Why do these past lives still trouble you? How do you know a spirit from a memory?
Fragmented are memories,
Good question.
stuck in time, mindless, cruel, never far.
Okay, I've seen apparitions like those elsewhere since I became a watcher. Oh no, 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 you too. You too. Poor woman, poor woman. All at once, in spite of his abject misery, his expression changes to one of utmost sympathy.
They will take you too.
Not if I have anything to say about it. What an inevitable madness? That can't be right. Kana folds his arms. There's always an answer to be found if you look hard enough. You're saying I'll end up like you.
So fragile the watcher's mind, so real his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep?